All right, so I guess at some point I'm going to have to get help with this addiction of mine. I really have become addicted to this sim simply because it just helps me get my message across. And I know I keep on doing it, and you think that, oh, once would be enough, but it really isn't. I mean, people need repeated reminders about the realities of these games. So we're still on zero. So it just doing the count and all right. Dealers still zero and 100 is the next bet. Oh, it seems to be going faster now. Am I mistaken? Oh, no. My imagination there. Oh, bloody hell. Beat the crap out of me, didn't he? So that's a no. And it's got to be 400, hasn't it? That's a mistake that a lot of people make, forgetting a double down. It costs you twice as much, so you need to keep that in mind for the value of your next bet. So we're into heavy duty country already. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the turnaround bet. That's not so great. That's even less great. That's a bit better. All right. Okay, so we made our 175. Fairly good example, actually, of persistence. You have to have persistence, but not mad persistence, not stupid persistence. Just patience, discipline, and money, 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 and money in the bank. Well, not in the bank, in your pocket, actually. Oh bloody hell! That was a nasty one. And now we're on +1, and the bet is 100. Well, we ain't going to win that one then, are we? Still +1, and the bet is 300. The reason being that we are 150 behind, and we're in 100 territory now, so we rounded up to 200, and then we want to make 100, so that's 300 is the bet. It's a turnaround bet. Oh boy, these can be expensive. I'm going to say, don't you dare, you ratbag. I'm sure he's a very nice man, Mr. Shackelford, but I haven't met him yet. What are we on now? We're now on episode 12 of his log of his walk on the what's it called, that thing across Spain, that sort of walk that I wouldn't do on a dare. But he's a very serious chap, I think, Mr. Shackelford. All right, back to the min. Very important. Back to the minimum. Oh dear. So that was dealer 25, still on +1. Bet is 50. Okie dokie. Now the bet is 200, the third bet. Maybe. Aha. Okay. So that's good. And we're still on +1. Mystifying, really, isn't it? But it's because the running count up here is +6, so that's pretty high. But just remember, always, always go back to the minimum. And if that means moving to another table, so be it. That's a wash, so we double for the push. We're still on 1, mysteriously. Oh, you show off. All right, so we're on 5100 and still +1. Oh dear. Because we knew in advance we lost that one. But that number up there underneath the dealer's cards, I don't pay any attention to it because I play basic strategy religiously. That was a dealer nasty again. So once again we're on 300 to try and get out of this crap. Oh, so close. Now we've got to double down. Oy, oy, oy. Ah, thank you, Ace. All right, so that was a nice one. And remember, that sort of like, what is it Mr. Handpay calls them? Spacer. I suppose it's as accurate as anything else. But, it happens on both sides that, you get, I mean, like, for instance, I've got a 2 there that I could have done without, because if I'd just got the queen, then I'd have a blackjack, and he'd have a 21 if it weren't for the nasty ace that got in the way there. So anyway, the 0 and back to 25 seems to be moving a little bit faster today, or maybe my brain's going slower, I don't know. Pity about that. So next is 50 and still 0. Bummer. I'm going to hit that. All the good it did me. Yeah, well, no, he'd have bust, wouldn't he? No, he wouldn't. He'd have had... No, yeah, he'd have bust. Damn it. Silly me. Now we're on 1. So now the next bet is 200 because we're down 75, but we're in 100 territory now. So we call that 100, which means that to get out with a profit of at least 100, we have to bet 200. Right? You got that, didn't you? Bugger. All right. So that's how you want to be. Still +1? I don't get it. So now we're dropping to 25 because we don't like the look of this. So we're on 3-2 drop. Still +1. That makes no sense. So we're in the drop zone, which means we don't change the bet until we see some decent action. And the count goes to 0. What am I doing? I'm having a brain fade here. Yeah, sorry. Oh, that's a bugger, isn't it? And still on 0. Ay. Okay, so we just completed the first 21 rounds, which took forever. I mean, this really is terribly slow, but we can't do anything about it. 7 wins and 15 losses. But because we're winning more when we win than we are losing when we lose, we are 875 ahead of the house. And we're on 3-2-4-2 now, but in the drop zone. So we just repeat. Oh dear. That was a bit sort of canny, wasn't it? And he didn't beat me. All right, so 25, and that was 0. No, yeah, it was 0 before. Now it's 1. So we got that one. So what did I say we were? 4-2? And the true count is 1. So we go back to the 200. Oh dear. That was rubbing in a bit, wasn't it? So that's 6-4, still +1. I'm not sold on this counting, I'll tell you. That's a double. Oh dear, oh dear. 6-4, so that's 10, so that's 14-15, and still 1. Okay, so I'm not running away in this current set of demonstrations, presentations, or whatever. I'm not doing the runaway thing. I'm just ploughing straight on, because otherwise it gets too complicated for my little brain to cope with. I mean, I'm already having a hard time having to sort of manipulate a pencil and a notebook and the clicker and the blah, 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 and then the slowness of this thing, which is driving me potty. So we're at 1500. That's the turnaround. Oh dear. All right, so we didn't get our turnaround back. So we're at 14-15 and dropping to 25. True count is still 1. We're in the drop zone again. And yes, I get the point that it wouldn't be very easy having bet 1500 to bet 25. But that doesn't matter. You know, this whole myth that the casinos put out about how you've got to stay with the same shoe, you've got to stick with the same game, the same dealer, the same sort of sewage. It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Okay, so I couldn't even win that. Damn it. Okay, still true count 1. Yeah, I'm not big on this count. I'm really not. Alexa, stop. I've run out of water, so leave me alone. Alexa, stop. Ay. We are really getting hammered. See, normally I would run away, but I'm stubborn, so I'm not doing it. Now the count goes to 2. Still in the drop zone. Okay. Still plus count. True count plus. Look at the running count up there. +10. And this thing is very accurate, I'm telling you. This sim is very accurate with the count. I'm sure the guys at Blackjack Apprenticeship and all the other people who tout card counting will argue, but I'm telling you, it's good. Bloody hell. This is a classic shitload. Okay, still +2. Not enough. What are we plus now? +1. Kind of exciting, actually, because it's going to be so horrible and we're going to beat it. So, you know, it's going to be fun. Oh my God, we won one. Okay, so we were on 14-15, weren't we? So now we're on 3-2. We haven't got much left, have we? 2,000. The count is 1. So we're in 1,000 territory. 3-2. Cross your fingers. Oh dear. Oh dear. That didn't work. All right, now what we can't do here is make the next bet, which is 5-4. So what we're going to do is shift to a higher rent thingamajigamy. So we're going to go to 500, and this is just arbitrary really, but 550,000. And I'm going to leave this in the demo because it's just more kind of open, you know. So what did I say before? It was 3-2. So now it's 5-4, which is only the second bet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bloody hell! I'm just catching real crap, aren't I? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, 5-4. And of course the count was 0 there, and it's still 0. So we're going to be 9-8. This is just not fun. 9-8 won't work. So we're on 17-8, and obviously we've got to drop to whatever the minimum is. So 17-8. I forget what the what was in the tank before. It was 17. It was about 1,200 maybe. Let's call it 1275. I think that might be right. So it was. Bloody hell. It's straining my brain, I tell you, but we are going to come out of this. We always do. But it's the old story, like I'm always telling you, if you don't have a shitload of money behind you, then you are dead meat, especially in a session like this, because we're already getting killed in terms of number of wins versus number of losses. So we should have hit the hills a long time ago. But I'm just trying to work out here where we're at. It's 14, 15. Well, it's 8,000 is the next bet, but we're just going to bet that. And I'll probably do a little bit of splicing here. So don't panic. Just look at the decks left and the count up there, and you'll know that I haven't fiddled it. So we're in the drop zone. We just can't do anything, can we? All right, minimum. Jesus Christ. You got to laugh, right? But these are the ones I like to beat, because it's, oh, look at that, bust by 1. It's just incredible. Dealer, still 0, still 500. It's a joke, really. I mean, this session, but we will come out of it eventually. Oh dear. Why am I laughing? It's nervous laughter. You know that, don't you? Okay. Oh yeah, should have guessed. Next bet is +1. My God, the dealer bust. Okay, so in the second 21, we got 3 wins and 19 losses. Now think about that. I mean, normally, obviously, I'd be a million miles from this. I'd be just, I'd be at some other table, at some other game. I'd probably be playing baccarat. I don't know, whatever. But it doesn't matter because I'm persisting because I think it's important. So we got a 0 there, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I'm at. But I know I'm 14,500 down here, and so 20. So we're at about let's see, about 22. 14,500 plus. Let's call it 5,000 at the other place. So we'll call it 28 is where we're at right now. When we come back to life, if we ever do, but we're still in the drop zone, right? Oh, look at that. I can't even figure out what the house advantage is right now, because we've got 10 wins and 34 losses. So out of 44, that's 24 out of 44 is the house advantage, which makes it somewhere around 55% for the house. I mean, that's tricky. Okay, so we're still in the drop zone. We're still on 0. Can't win that one. 500 again. Still 0. Wow. What happened? So 8,000 is the bet, and we're at 0. And we're calling it, what did I say? 28? I don't think that's quite enough, because we're 15,000 down here and 5,000 down at the other place. So I think we'd better call it 22.8. That ain't going to work. All right. So that's a dealer win. So that's 30.16. We can just make that bet. And we're at -1, the count. 30.16. Oh, bloody hell. I think I was supposed to split those. Oh, I can't anyway, so, because of this. I mean, I could go somewhere else, I suppose, but no, I couldn't. Should have guessed that. So 46.32. So the next bet is 32,000. Well, we're not going to make it here. So we had 12.75 from the other place, and we've got 11,000 here. And we've got -55,000. So we've got 12,070. Sorry. Yeah. 12,275 in the kitty still, and 55,000 against us. And what did I say? 22.8, 30.16, 22.8. So that's 30.16. So that's 46.32 is the next bet, which will be at 0. Okay, so now we go again, and I will clip this, but you could, well, no, I won't clip it because you won't know, will you? So we're now going to 5,000 to 100,000. So 46.32 is where we're at right now. So I think we should call that 46.35 for the third bet. All right, we're getting closer. So we call that 35. So now we've got 11 15 is the turnaround bet. That's annoying, isn't it? How can it be only minus? Oh, okay, yeah, it's deck value. So 11.15, and that was a push. So we just repeat that. Another bloody wash. -1 wash, 15,000. We're waiting for this damn turnaround, aren't we? There it is. Okay. We always knew it was coming, didn't we? Okay, so let's do a little thingy here. We're 50,000 ahead here. And 44, 43. So we're at about 8,000 ahead after all of that agony. Okay, so we just turned around, all right? Not a miracle, in spite of what people are going to say, but let's get this in perspective. I just did the add up here. So far, 51 bets, actual bets, money on the table. The washes or the pushes don't count. 13 wins, 38 losses, okay? So that is a house advantage of 50%. Because if you take your 38, you're 13 away from the 38, you're left with 25, and it's 51. So 25, so that's, all right, so it's minus 24, no, minus 49% maybe. But that's the kind of thing that we're dealing with here, And what am I at here? I'm at 27 minutes. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. But I'll put some information on the screen so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about here, because it's all about money. It's all about discipline. It's all about chasing the winning streaks and backing away from losing streaks. And at no point do you ever know what the next result is going to be, obviously. And that's in spite of the pricks out there who tell me that I'm manipulating this sim or that I'm doing something peculiar with it, and I know in advance what's happening. I mean, would anybody be dumb enough, knowing in advance what was coming here, to sort of like to proceed? I mean, it was just absolutely awful. But the point is that if you play within a very tight spread, I mean, we bet from what? Our highest bet was 35,000. Our lowest bet was 25. So that's a betting spread that you can't do in one place, one game, even in one casino. But the end result, the reward at the end of, and it was less than half an hour of actual playing time, the reward at the end of that is sufficient to say, okay, so I had to spend a couple of hours on this, but I made 9,000 or whatever the hell it is. We'll find that out in a bit. But I will wrap it up now because it's quite long. And too many of my presentations lately have been too long. So I'm going to wrap this up and just say thank you so much for sticking with me. And, I'm not offering anybody a magic bullet, a sort of a brass ring, an easy way to make money. But if you put this into perspective and you think, okay, so we had to lay out a shitload of money there, about 60 grand, I guess, and we will have ended up with maybe 7,000 or 8,000. As I say, I'll put that up in a minute when I've got that information. Well, that sounds terrible, but it's more than 10% in half an hour of play. That ain't terrible. Yes, you can do that on Wall Street if you're lucky. You can sort of piddle around with with stocks and shares, and you can make that kind of money. But by golly, you can lose it even faster. And at least with these games, as long as you understand them and you understand what you're up against and you understand the numbers and you don't lose your cool, you can prevail. And we just won against a house advantage of well over 45%. So just keep that in mind while you're being cynical and smart-assed and telling me that, no, you can't do this. This isn't possible. They wouldn't let you. They have no choice. Because if you can't place a bet at a given location, go somewhere else. And if you can't go somewhere else because they know you'll face, then somebody else in your team will step in. Somebody they don't know will step in to place the bets. It's a matter of thinking it through all the way. These casinos can be beaten, but it does take brain power, and above all, it takes dollar power. Okay? Next time. All right, then. So if you were brave enough to stick with me through that shit show that just ended, it's sort of like it's unbelievable. I wasn't far out with my estimates. The actual flat house advantage was 49%. 49%. And to put that in perspective, consider that the mathematically calculated house edge, house advantage in blackjack is somewhere between minus 0.5 and minus 0.75%. So we are looking at something which is 90 times that. Look at the win-loss pattern thing down here. I mean, it's hysterical, isn't it? It's funny. It's just, and yeah, it's fair enough to say that in the real world, I would not have stuck with that. But I'm doing these demos to show you folks out there that these games can be beaten if you know what you're doing, if you're disciplined, if you have a ton of money behind you, and if you're patient and just mathematical, numerate, sensible, logical, you can prevail. And I can't pretend that at one point I didn't think, oh shit, is this going to be it? But I have faith, because I guess I'm dumb, but I do. And at the end of the day, what did we make? We made 7,275, which for a risk of, well, let's see, when we bet 35,000, we were at least 32,000 in the hole. So that's about let's call it 70,000. So we made 10% on our investment, on our risk. So, we've got a 17% return on risk, as you can see up here. Real exposure, because we won, we had the money on the table, but we won at the right time. Real exposure was 43,000, but we made 17% return on risk, which is damn good, it's good. Over here, we can see that last stretch that nearly did us in. 26 losses and just 6 wins. I mean, look at this. It's a horror story. But we beat the bastards, The house edge for that 26-6, that gives the house an edge of 54%. Taking our total action there, 96,000, okay, multiplying that by the house advantage, the indicated result is a loss of 52,000. We came out in that segment with a win of 6,075. Total win, because we won before we went into that very, very deep, nasty rabbit hole. Total win is 7,275. Now, the one thing that bugs me is that the count comes out of this very badly again. Negative TCs, true counts, cost us 1,000. Neutral true count, TC, We won 11,575 plus one TC. We lost 3,000, 3,250, and then I don't think we saw many minus threes, but anyway, they cost us 75. So, it's just horrible. But we won, and that might be a surprise to you, or you might be suspicious. You might. There's nothing I can do about how you react to this, but I'm telling you, it's straight. It's honest. Yes, it was scary, but you know what? When I see people like Dana White sitting there in somebody chat show or whatever the hell it was he was doing, a blog or a video log or something like that, and saying that he won over $1 million every night for 23 nights at some casino in Las Vegas. And I'm thinking, what? Come on. I mean, he must think we all bloody just came in on the last banana boat or something. I mean, what utter drivel. But there you go. That's how you get on in life these days in America, it seems, is just tell whopping great lies, and the idiots of America will applaud you. That's how it works, right? I'm just changing these things here because I want this to come out so that it can be seen, because it's the only one. I mean, we fell into this hole here, and it was just unbelievably bad. And overall, I haven't done the overall, so I'll pop that in. It'll only take a second. I mean, we've got it earlier, I think, but let's do it right here. Okay, so oops. Okay, don't be mean. All right, so overall, 50% house advantage. We made 5.7% on our action was 129,050. We managed to claw back a win of 5.7% on that action. And overall, I think we did bloody well. That's my opinion. But oh dear. And just to go back to the count situation, not good. I'm sorry, Blackjack Apprenticeship, but I am not impressed. I'm really not. And maybe I'm doing it all wrong. I mean, you tell me if I am, but I don't see how I can be. So that was just that I want to get that. That's the number of bets there. And when I transfer that over to the to the collective file, I want that to be there because it tells us number of bets. I'm only on about a little over 1,000, maybe it's 1,100 now. And yeah, the counting guys, the pro counting brigade, and they're pretty strong, pretty powerful. They're very faithful and determined and all the rest of it. But they will say, well, 1,000 rounds, 1,000 bets is nothing. That doesn't prove anything. The problem is, of course, that if you've got a strategy which fails in the first 1,000 bets, you're probably not going to get anybody to believe in it. So, that's the truth of the matter. But just another quick look at this horror story. Oh, damn, that was nasty.